ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Swank Tank. Been a little bit since our last episode. Now we're really kicking things into full gear, especially entering the summertime. It's the NFL offseason. I get that. There's still news to break down every day. There's the schedule release, which we're about to talk about. Upcoming episode after this one, we're going to be breaking down every division. I'm going to be predicting every division's record, going through the offseason moves of every division. We're going to start, I believe, in the AFC. We're going to go with the AFC North to start, so be on the lookout for that episode coming up over the next week or so, maybe a little bit earlier. But overall, welcome back into the show. I have a great one for you today, recording the night of May 15th. We out 16th at noon, as you're watching or listening to right now. And we have the full NFL schedule release out for you. Came out yesterday, and man, we got a lot to break down. So what we're going to do this episode is I'm going to go week by week and give you what I think is the best game of that week. I'm also going to give you an honorable mention of that week as well. And yeah, let's just get into it. Welcome back to the show. If you're listening, that's great as well. Welcome to the show. Go watch, though. If you haven't watched, YouTube is a Swank Tank, as it is on all other platforms. Got some great little graphics up here for you. A little bit different version of just a normal standard podcast. We have actual visuals for you to look at as well. Just a little bit more engaging, a little bit better content overall. So let's get into it. Let's go into week one, what I think is the best game. We have a very loaded week one. I'm not sure if you've looked at who your team's playing. I'm not sure, but let's dive it straight into week one. Here's what I've got as my best week one NFL game. I have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Buffalo on Sunday Night Football, Sunday, September 7th, 7:20 Central kickoff time. Ravens, Bills. This is my week one best game. It's got the primetime spot for a reason. Baltimore didn't get where he wanted to go last year. Buffalo came up one play short yet again last year. Derrick Henry just re-signed a new 2-year extension, Lamar Jackson, obviously, Josh Allen. I mean, all the pieces are there. Cook for the Bills. A little bit of some offseason moves going on with both these teams, but nothing too crazy. You're going to get basically the same team that you got last year on both ends of the ball for both teams. And it's going to be really exciting to watch. MVP versus MVP, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, primetime spot in Buffalo to kick off the season. Could this be the year Buffalo does it? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. If I had to guess, it would be no, but last year's outcome does not play into this year's outcome. So we will see. We will see indeed. I mean, can Josh Allen do it? It wasn't really Josh Allen's fault at all, but let's see if he can do it. Honorable mention for basically the second best game of the week, in my personal opinion, of week one is indeed the Detroit Lions traveling to Green Bay in division week one at Lambeau Field, 3:25 game. Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Lions just got way better this offseason because they didn't have any holes to fill, basically. If the Lions do not win the NFC this year, I would be slightly surprised. I know the Eagles are right there as well, but it's got to be the Lions here, so we'll see. Hard game going in division rival to Lambeau Field, 3:25 Sunday, September 7th. That is our week one best matchup and honorable mention. If you don't agree with that, let me know. Comment on the YouTube video, comment on my TikTok, comment wherever. I mean, you can see on my platforms and whatnot. Give me a comment. Just tell me what you think is the best 1 week NFL game, because there's a lot of them. But in my opinion, Baltimore Bills, Lions, Packers. All right, let's get to week two. Best week two NFL game, I mean, by a mile, it's just got to be the Super Bowl repeat. It's got to be Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Sunday, September 14th, 3:25 kick. Again, Super Bowl rematch. Chiefs got absolutely manhandled. Can they take it back at home in week two? Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, all the fireworks. Man, the Eagles are so damn good. They're so good. Did the Chiefs O-line get better? We'll see. This is going to be just an absolutely phenomenal game. I mean, this one, a lot of these in the first few weeks, I don't got to dive too much into because the schedule makers did a really good job of putting the best against the best, as you'll see. Honorable mention here, got the NFC runner-ups in the Washington Commanders. Pretty crazy. Jane Daniels' first year, no longer a rookie, offensive rookie of the year. Now traveling to Green Bay to take on Love and the Packers. So Green Bay gets 2 straight home games to start the year. They got the Lions and they got the Commanders. The schedule makers knew what they were doing here. They knew what's going on. Eagles Chiefs, man, if I had to call that game right now, I'd probably just have to go Eagles. I mean, Chiefs just have a few more question marks than the Eagles do. Eagles are just an unbelievably complete team. Didn't lose many pieces this offseason. They re-signed Zach Bond. Still got Brown. Obviously, they got Barkley, Smith, DeJean. I mean, Mitchell. I can go on and on and on. The D-line's great. I mean, they got better, I think, somehow. They didn't lose many pieces. We'll see. I mean, the Eagles should be top of the NFC again, right there with the Lions. Chiefs, I believe, will probably be top of the AFC again. We'll see. Buffalo will be right there. AFC is going to be fun to watch this year, ladies and gentlemen. It's fun to watch every year. AFC will be fun to watch because there were a lot of good teams. You go to the NFC, and it's a few amount of great teams, and then there's a little bit of a fall off. AFC, who knows? There's a lot of teams that can be competing this year. Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, dare I say Houston, dare I say Denver, dare I say Chargers. A few other mores in there that can maybe compete for it. We'll see. That's your week 2. We got Eagles, Chiefs at Arrowhead, and we got Commanders, Packers. Again, Packers, tough start to the season. Lions and Commanders, but luckily both at Lambeau Field for them. All right, let's get to week 3. Best week 3 NFL game, in my personal opinion, is the Detroit Lions traveling to the Baltimore Ravens. Monday Night Football, September 22nd, 7:15 p.m. Central Time. This is going to be an absolute slugfest, in my personal opinion. Both these teams play physical. They like the defense they have. You got Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff. It's going to be fireworks. I mean, the schedule makers knew what they were doing with these first few weeks of games. Lions, Ravens, prime time. This is a game you cannot miss. You will be on your couch, at a bar, wherever you are to watch your football, wherever you go to watch your football, you will be watching this game. And not only for fantasy purposes, because both these teams have a lot of fantasy players. Lions at Ravens, September 22nd, best week 3 NFL game. Lions got a tough little stretch to start the year. Let's see what they can do. Obviously, I believe in that team. They're locked and loaded and ready to go. Baltimore trying to make it back to the AFC Championship. We'll see if they get there. It's been a little bit. We'll see. Honorable mention here, went a little bit of a different route. We got the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. This game's got a few question marks in it. You know, Bengals last year defensively were not very strong. Had a few injuries as well. Had some issues with Higgins. Had some issues with Chase. You re-signed both those guys to major deals. Hendrickson, you've seen all the drama there. Apparently the contact hasn't been great. The relationship has actually deformed instead of being reinforced. So Bengals still have a few question marks with Hendrickson and those sort of things, even though they did re-sign Higgins and Chase. Can they put it all together? Can that secondary be better? Can the D-line hold off without Hendrickson if they don't re-sign him? There's a few questions there for the Bengals. Going to be interesting to watch. Minnesota Vikings. We all know the question. I don't even got to say it. If you're listening or you're watching, you know what I'm about to say. And I'm about to ask you, can J.J. McCarthy be the guy? Can J.J. McCarthy be the guy? That is the question. My personal answer is no. I haven't seen him play yet. Nobody has. Got injured last season. It's going to be his first year, first start. Can he be the guy? Bengals coming in week 3. Tough game. Tough game. Not a great defensive team, but a tough game overall with that offense that can put up 40 like it's nothing on a good day. So that's my honorable mention. That's week 3. Lions, Ravens, Bengals, Vikings. Let's do it. Let's move on to week 4. Week 4, best game of week 4 of the NFL season. I got the Ravens up here again. Just had the Ravens. Already talked about the Ravens. Ravens at Chiefs. Sunday, September 28th, 3:25 Central Time. Did not get a main primetime slot Monday, Thursday, or Sunday. But this game will have, again, all the viewers it needs. Dare I say more? AFC rivals, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry. You already know what's going down in this game. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be close. You know it. You know it. Honorable mention here, I got the Eagles traveling to the Bucks. Bucks this year, Godwin got hurt towards the end of the last year. I'm sure they don't feel very confident about his health starting the year and even going on throughout that. Baker Mayfield played at a really elite level last year. Let's see if he can maintain that. A lot of still a few question marks with the Buccaneers at home against Super Bowl champs. That will be a phenomenal game. So again, my best week 4 NFL game, Baltimore Ravens traveling to Kansas City. Honorable mention, Philadelphia going to take on the Buccaneers in Tampa. All right, week 5. Let's get at it. Week 5, best NFL game of week 5. Personal opinion here. We're going Broncos Eagles. There's a few games on this slate, but this is just a noon kickoff game on October 5th. And I got Broncos going into Philly, take on the Eagles here as my best game of week 5. Drew Lock, fantastic first year. There's no way I just said Drew Lock. Wow. I might have to delete that. No, I'm just going to leave it in. I'm just going to leave it in. How dare I say that? Bo Nix, fantastic first year in Denver. Sean Payton, great first year in Denver. They relocked, reloaded. Cortland Sutton balled out last year. They made some really big defensive moves. I believe they got the man from the Niners. I always can't pronounce the last name. I believe it's Stefunga. I believe they got Dre Greenlaw as well. They locked and loaded that defense up. Sean Payton, loves that, and he loves getting a little young quarterback to craft, and he got one in Bo Nix. This Broncos team is going to make some noise. Going into Philly, week 5, early out-of-conference game for them at the Super Bowl champs. This is going to be a good one. And for a noon kickoff, it's going to be by far the best noon kickoff of the slate. It's going to be the best game of the weekend, in my opinion. Honorable mention, got my Texans here going to Baltimore. Problem with this is that the Texans have never, let me emphasize, ever won a game in Baltimore. Believe it's 0-11 or 0-12 all time. Could that change? Definitely could, possibly. But AFC kind of rivals here now, have been for a while. Except, is it a rivalry if the other team doesn't win at the other team's home? I don't know. I do not know. So hopefully the Texans can get it done on the road against Baltimore. That should be a really good game, though, as well, at noon. Both these games at noon. It's going to be a really good slate. Got Broncos, Eagles, Texans, and Ravens as my best games of week 5. Quick sip of water here. Shout out Josh Pate. If somebody wants to sponsor myself or the show with whatever drink they want me to drink on here, I'll happily do it. I'll do it. It's not going to be Zevia like Josh Pate inspiration out there. Could be Coke Zero. Maybe. I don't know if Coke is going to approach me and offer me, a little sponsorship. Maybe. Could be in the works here soon. Don't know. But be happy to do it. Would be happy to do it. All right, let's get to week 6. All right. The Lions made it back up and the Chiefs made it back up. That's what I'm saying, people. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but man, these primetime games throughout the first few weeks are going to set the tone for the rest of the season. Detroit going to Kansas City. Dare I say more? Sunday, October 12th, Sunday Night Football, 7:20 kick. I don't need to say anything more. You see this game, it's the game of the week. Plain and simple. Honorable mention here, a little bit of a different pace. Caleb Williams. I don't know if everybody saw the news today. I made a video about it. Apparently didn't want to go to the Bears at first, where quarterbacks, quote, go to die. Wanted to be in Minnesota. Dad talked to him about it. A lot of stuff came out today. I think a lot of it's noise, and I think a lot of Bears fans will tell you the same. But some things came out today. Caleb Williams, week 6, traveling to take on his other rookie main rookie opponent from last year at the quarterback position, and Jaden Daniels, offensive rookie of the year. Bears at Commanders, Monday Night Football, October 13th, 7:15 kick. That is my honorable mention. Both these games are going to be great, just in a little bit of different ways. You kind of know what you're getting with Lions Chiefs. You don't really know what you're getting in Bears Commanders. I'll tell you that. The Commanders are loaded. They had probably the best offseason of any team in the NFL. Laramie Tunsil, Debo Samuel, and others that I'm not even going to name at the moment. Bears, Commanders, honorable mention. Lions, Chiefs. They're in week 6. Those are the best games of week 6, in my opinion. Going straight on to week 7, Detroit's going to be up there, guys. Detroit's going to be up there. Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Detroit. A little NFC versus NFC matchup. Again, the Buccaneers to me are one of the most intriguing teams to watch. Godwin, like I mentioned, out. Can Baker maintain the play he had last year? Can the defense, just be a little bit better overall? Can the Bucs make some noise in the NFC with some of the big dogs? They can win a few normal season games against them. We've seen it in the past. Beat the Eagles 2 years ago in the playoffs. They can make some noise in the NFC. Can they beat the Lions on the road in week 7? It's going to be a heck of a game. And Mike Evans, you better ball out, big dog, because Godwin won't be there. And I understand they drafted first-round wide receiver. I get it. That's going to be a heck of a game. Eagles at Vikings is my honorable mention here. Solid game. NFC clash. Again, Vikings, a few questions. Eagles, Super Bowl champs, Sunday, noon kickoff. Just a solid football game. Solid football game there. Definitely one where the Eagles could get upset, if that's really even an upset, which it probably will be, given the odds. But yeah, we got Bucs, Lions, best game of week 7 in the NFL. That is a Monday, part of a double header. So they kick off at 6 Central Time, October 20th. And then again, Eagles, Vikings, honorable mention, Sunday, October 19th, 12 o'clock Central. If you're watching or if you're listening, appreciate you so much. If you're watching, drop your favorite team below and let me know if I've mentioned them yet. If not, I'm hoping I get to them. Some teams are not going to be mentioned. Do we think the Titans, who have no primetime games, are going to be mentioned on here? No, they are not. They're not, guys. They're not. This is not clickbait here. I'm giving you the stone cold facts, aka my opinion, on what games I believe are the best week in and week out. All right, let's do it. Week 8. Here we go. We got the Washington Commanders, Monday Night Football, 7:15 kick, October 27th, traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs to take on the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Fantastic football game. Random thought here, but I'm not a big Thursday Night Football type of guy. I don't Prime to me, all those games feel weird. I don't know. Something's always off about them. I feel like they're always in like the Jets or the Giants Stadium, MetLife, and I don't know. You can't really hear the fan noise. I don't know. Thursday Night Football is off to me. Love some good Monday Night Football. Will say. Nobody likes some Monday. 7:15 rolls around. You get to see Jane Daniels versus Patrick Mahomes on primetime. Yeah, sign me up. It's going to be a hell of a game. Really great game. Excited to see that one. Packers, Steelers. Honorable mention, Sunday Night Football. Steelers. What are we doing at quarterback? You got Mason Rudolph there. Aaron Rodgers news apparently comes up every day, and will they, won't they type of deal. Will Rodgers sign that? I don't know. Is Rudolph going to be your starting quarterback? If so, this game will get moved off my honorable mention. But it is the Steelers, and it's the Steelers at home, and they still have Mike Tomlin, who has never had a losing season in his life with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good game. Quality game. I believe Aaron Rodgers will be the starter. I don't love that move for the Steelers, but I think it's best option at the moment. You're not going to start Will Howard, who you just drafted. Not going to happen. DK Metcalf somehow's got to get the ball. Pickens is gone. Russ is gone. Fields is gone. Najee's gone. I don't want to say it's a reset because it's not, but it's close. Feels like it a little bit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who will be the quarterback is a big question there. Will it be Rodgers, and will Rodgers be playing against his former team? Green Bay, one of his former teams, Packers at Steelers, honorable mention. Best game of the week, Commanders traveling to Kansas City. Week 9, here we go. Again, appreciate you all tuning in here and for listening to my thoughts here on the best games of each week and an honorable mention as well. Just saving you some time from scrolling through week after week after week to catch these best matchups. I got you right here. This is what the Swank Tank does. Great looking graphics, great looking content. That's why you're here. Appreciate you guys. All right, this is the one. AFC Championship rematch for what, number 4, 5? now in the past few years. Kansas City traveling to Buffalo. How is this not prime time? How? I understand the Chiefs have so many primetime games. How is this one not prime time? We all know this is currently out of division, the biggest rivalry in the NFL. Chiefs, Bills, 325, November 2nd. It's going to be a little bit cold. Going to be a little cold. That's must watch TV. That's up to that point. I'm not going to say it's the game of the year because all the other ones have also been great. Might be the game of the year up to that point. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, you already know the drill. Honorable mention, Denver Broncos traveling to Houston, take on the Texans, noon kickoff, November 2nd. That was just a good AFC little battle there. Two teams made the wild card last year, looking to make strides in the offseason, kind of did in a way. Broncos definitely probably had a better offseason than Houston. Houston, big defensive improvements, I guess kind of similar to Denver. Can the O-line do it for the Texans? I mean, that is going to be the golden egg question all year long. Did the offensive line get better? If not, it's going to be the exact same result from last season. Broncos got a great defense and a great pass rush. So that's going to be a heck of a game. Two AFC wildcards from last year going at it. It's going to be a good one. Chiefs Bills, though, is the game of the week. Broncos Texans, runner up, aka honorable mention, for week 9. Let's move on to week 10 here. You already know who it is. It's the Lions. But where are they going? Oh, they're going to take on the Commanders. Okay. Detroit, Washington, Sunday, 3:25. Also not a primetime game, per se. Depends on your definition of primetime. November 9th, 3:25 kick. Detroit traveling to the Commanders. Can the Lions get revenge from last year's playoffs where they gave up, I believe it was 45 points, which was a shock to everybody, including myself? Can they get the revenge on the road against a newly additive Commanders football team that should have more of an edge, more depth, more of an identity to them compared to last year when they walked into Detroit in the playoffs and absolutely put on a clinic of offensive production? Can the Lions bounce back and get the revenge? We'll see. Honorable mention, a little repeat of Brazil from last year. Eagles at Packers. You already know the drill here. This is NFC. This is Hurts and Love. This is a classic NFC battle. Two good teams, two great teams going at it. Packers also for me, along with the Bucks, kind of not a question mark, but someone to watch in the NFC. You got Love, you got Jones, you got that very interesting wide receiver crew with recently added Matthew Golden. Also, buy his stock right now. If you're not own stock in Matthew Golden, buy it right now and draft him early because he is that type of player. He's that type of guy. He's that type of man. He's that type of leader. Matthew Golden will help this team take big strides. And if Jordan Love can find him consistently, this offense will soar comparative to even more than last year. So Eagles, Packers, going to be a good one. Desk just shook. That's okay. Going to be a good one. Lions, Commanders going to be the best one of the week for sure. All right. There's best games of week 10. We're close to a little Thanksgiving action here, but I think we got 1 or 2 more weeks. Week 11, Lions don't even move. They go on the road again. Best game of week 11. Lions at Eagles. Sunday night football, November 16th, 7:20 kick. The Lions have been up here a bunch. What does that tell you? Tells you the Lions are damn good, sure. Also tells you that the Lions got a tough schedule. They have a really tough schedule. Lions at Commanders was one we just talked about. Week 11, fast forward. Lions at Eagles. You got 2 straight road games. That can be hard enough. You got Commanders and Eagles. That makes it not impossible, but close to it. Lions, Eagles, my favorite 2 teams in the NFC. They were my favorite 2 teams in the NFC last year. Going to be a great game. This has best game of the year potential. Sunday night football. Honorable mention, in division rivals, Chiefs at Broncos again. Can Bo Nix and the Broncos, with that great offseason they had, take some steps forward and maybe start to take over this division? Who knows? It's a really good division. Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. The Raiders are not good. They're not going to be on here tonight. Great honorable mention game there. Chiefs, Broncos. Best game of week 11. of the 2025 NFL season, got to be Lions Eagles, 100%. Week 12, our first Thursday night football, I believe, of my opinion, of best game of the week. Week 12, we got Buffalo traveling to Houston, taking on the Texans. Thursday night football, November 20th, 7:15 Central Time. Josh Allen back in Houston, lost, well, how long ago was that now? 5 years ago, maybe? I believe it was 5 seasons ago, to Deshaun Watson and the Texans in Houston, back when Allen was a young buck. Going into Houston, facing what's going to be a top 3 defense this year, guys. CJ Gardner-Johnson, recently added. Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, great linebacking core. Derek Stingley, Kamari Lassiter. Texans defense will be top 3 this year. Again, big question. Can they protect CJ Stroud and their franchise guy? That would be the question. And Josh Allen rolling in there, you know what he can do. And that Texans defense, as good as it will be, who knows what Josh Allen can do to that defense. So this is my game of the week in week 12. It's an excellent one for Thursday night football. It's going to have a lot of eyeballs on it. AFC versus AFC. It's a good one. Honorable mention here. We've already mentioned the Bucks, but we got Bucks traveling to LA, not to take on the Chargers, take on the Rams. Rams losing or letting Cooper Kupp go, bringing in Devontae Adams, still have Puka Nacua, still have Kyron Williams, still have Matthew Stafford. Believe the O-line got a little turned around this offseason, if I'm not mistaken. Defense is solid. Drafted, I believe, a few guys over there on the defense. Jared Verse obviously coming off the edge. It's going to be a good game. Bucks, Rams, quality NFC game. This week wasn't fully loaded with, star-studded kind of games that we had in really weeks 1 through 11. But Bills, Texans, week 12, best game, Thursday night football, honorable mention. Buccaneers traveling to LA to take on the Rams on Sunday night football, 7:20 kick, November 23rd. All right. Believe it is now Thanksgiving week. A little bit different approach here for this one. I don't have this one off the top of my head. Looking at all these Thanksgiving games, I couldn't decide. So I made the graphic here. Thanksgiving bringing the heat. Which is the best? Let's walk through it here. If you're listening, I'll walk through it with you. If you're watching, you can see it on the screen, the full Week 13 NFL slate. Thanksgiving games. Green Bay goes to Detroit. Kansas City goes to Dallas. And the Bengals go to Baltimore. Obviously, first glance, I probably think Green Bay, Detroit's the best game. But Bengals, Ravens always has their own sort of fireworks. 1 week, it's 12-10. 1 week, it's 40-37. You never know when those two teams face off what you're going to get. But you do know that you're going to get a great game. You just don't know how the game's going to go. High scoring, low scoring, turnover fest, could be whatever. So to me, most interesting Thanksgiving game, the one I want to watch the most entertaining, Bengals, Ravens. But all 3 of those games are going to be excellent. Dallas is going to be interesting this year. You go get Pickens. You've got Lamb. Prescott coming back from injury. You draft Jadon Blue. I mean, you got DeMarvin Overshown over there. You still got Parsons, of course. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the Cowboys. When we get to the NFC East here, whenever I do that episode of their division and what the team looks like in the offseason and what I think the record's going to be walking through game by game, it's going to be a very interesting episode, I'll tell you that. So those are the 3 Thanksgiving games. Friday, Black Friday game now. Chicago traveling to Philly. Should be a great game as well. Got a lot of other good ones on here. New England and the Giants are Monday Night Football. That might be a worst game of the year candidate, even though the Mike Vrabel-led Patriots should have some more oomph with them. Who knows who the Giants quarterback will be at that time? Will it be Russ? Will it be Winston? Will it be Dart? Most interesting quarterback room in the entire NFL by a mile. Other solid games, you got Buffalo going to Pittsburgh. Of course, that's a good one. Texans at Colts, in-division rivals in Indianapolis. Never know what goes on there. That's a good one. Outside of that, Minnesota, Seattle, solid. You got Sam Darnold revenge game potentially. Got some quality games on the rest of the slate, but the 3 Thanksgiving games along with that Friday one are going to be great. Let me know in the comments below, or let me know what you think will be the best game of Week 13, the Thanksgiving week and weekend slate. All right, moving into Week 14. Texans are up there again. Houston Texans wanting some playoff redemption, going to Arrowhead and playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, December 7th, 7:20 kick. Biggest concern here as a Texans fan is the date of this game. December 7th. What does that mean? It means snow game. It very much means snow game. What does nighttime mean? It means colder. And Texans don't do well in the cold usually. And the Chiefs thrive in the cold because they play in the cold every single year. So Texans haven't gone into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs since Deshaun Watson back, I believe, in 2019. And this would be a good one, though. It would be a good one. Texans got some games this year where they need to surprise people. Baltimore on the road, Kansas City on the road. Usually those are 2 L's, and they still might be 2 L's. We'll have to see. But AFC versus AFC, a little playoff rematch. Gotta love it on Sunday Night Football prime time. Honorable mention, Monday Night Football, Eagles, Chargers. First time we mentioned the Chargers on the show tonight. Justin Herbert. Terrible playoff game against the Texans last year. Believe it was 5 picks. Might have been just 4. Can he redeem himself from that game and show the world that he is a top 8 quarterback? Maybe you already think he is. In my book, he's definitely not. Can he lead this newly revamped Chargers team to a successful, not only year, but a successful postseason as well? Again, a lot of great competition in the AFC. Eagles at Chargers. Honorable mention there, Monday Night Football. 7:15 kick, November 8th. All right, let's get to week 15 here. Getting close to the end. Baltimore going to Cincinnati, taking on the Bengals. Just a noon game. Like I mentioned earlier, you never know what this game brings. All you know is that this game will be close. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry. I can keep going. I can just keep going. Star-studded matchup, in-division game. Week 15, you know this is going to be a very meaningful game. I'm assuming the Bengals will be back in the tip-top shape this year. We'll see. Again, can the defense hold? Game of the week, noon kickoff, December 14th, there in Cincinnati. Honorable mention. We're going down to a little NFC South action. Falcons at Bucks again. Don't know what you really get here as well. Last year, you got an high-scoring overtime game. Sometimes it can be low-scoring. It can be sloppy. Sometimes it's pristine offense, and you got a really high-scoring game. You don't know with this NFC rival matchup, Bucks-Falcons. That's why I've got it on here Thursday, December 11th, 7:15 kick. Those are my games of week 15. Week 16, 2 weeks left after this. Green Bay traveling to Chicago is my game of the week. Saturday game, November 20th. No time is currently set. Packers going into Soldier Field, take on the Bears. No explanation needed on this rivalry. We get it. Will this game be meaningful for Chicago? My guess is yes. My guess is Chicago's fighting for a playoff spot at this time. Caleb Williams in the cold at home against the Packers, who obviously we know the Packers have owned the Bears a majority of the last decade plus. Can the Bears start to turn the tide with their star-studded team they've got? DJ Moore, phenomenal player. Caleb Williams, second year. Strong defense. Jalen Johnson. Green Bay obviously has the studs in Jacobs and Love and Golden, who I said is going to be great this year. And other guys, Jair Alexander, maybe on a contract year, wanting an extension, etc. A lot going down here for an in-division game. Honorable mention, Eagles at Commanders. Simple. It's in-division. I get it. Going to be great football. I mean, just great football. Saturday game as well. Week 17, you hear those bells? It's Christmas. We're doing what we did for Thanksgiving. If you're watching live, take a look. If you're on Spotify or if you're just listening, I got you. Christmas, bring the presents. Which game is the best? Christmas games this year. Cowboys going to Commanders. Lions going to Minnesota. Broncos going to Kansas City. They really crushed the holiday games this year. These are great. We already reviewed the Thanksgiving slate. Christmas slate is fantastic. Cowboys at Washington. Gonna give that to Washington. Lions at Vikings. Great game. In division, NFC North, week 17. Doesn't really get better than that. Similar. Denver at Kansas City in division. That game could also be very meaningful. I mean, those are just three solid quality games. I have a lot of flex games going on there as well. You got Texans, Chargers. That would be a good one. Rematch from the playoffs. Got a lot of good ones here. San Fran, Chicago. San Fran, they have the easiest schedule in the NFL this year based off last year's win percentage. Obviously, they went 6-11, I believe, and really had a down year. Can Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey have a rebound year? I absolutely believe so. They reloaded up the defense in the draft. They're a team to watch out for because you know they can snap off 11, 12 wins like that. And I just snap my fingers if you, hopefully you could hear it. Going to be an interesting year for the Niners, and I'm excited to break them down later this offseason. So you let me know which game you believe is best. I got to maybe say Broncos Chiefs at this point, or Eagles Bills as well at 325 is fantastic. One of those two. You let me know, though. And finally, week 18. Obviously, these times of games are not yet set. Commanders, Eagles in Philly. Could this be for the division? It might. It very much could. Game of the week, potential game of the year candidate, given the circumstances that may happen during this game. You know it's going to be cold, probably snowing. You know Saquon's going to do his thing. Can the Commanders get the revenge and win the NFC this year? Can the Commanders win this game? Potentially win the division? Who knows? Week 18's bringing it. It's division rivalry week. It's just division week. It's how week 18 always goes. Honorable mention, Ravens at Steelers again. And AFC North. You never know what you're going to get in these games. High scoring, low scoring. You just know it's going to be a good game. Ravens at Steelers, honorable mention. Commanders at Eagles. Week 18, best game in my opinion. Those are my best games for every single week of the 2025-26 NFL regular season, and their honorable mentions as well. Appreciate all you tuning in and listening throughout the show. Hope you guys enjoy the graphics, except we got one more thing to talk about real quick. We mentioned Dallas a good 5 minutes ago. Let's take a look at this tweet from Schefter. Let me get it up. There we go. Title of this graphic, if you can't see, Oh boys. From weeks 12 to 17 from Adam Schefter. The Cowboys play the Eagles, Chiefs. Let me restart here. From weeks 12 through 17, I'm restarting for emphasis. The Cowboys play the Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders. All teams that won at least 11 games last season. The Cowboys will be the first team in NFL history to play 6 straight games against teams that all won 11 plus games the previous season. Boys is the only and the correct title for this game because what a stretch. Will they go 0-6 in that stretch? I'll be honest with you, there's a chance. There's a slight chance. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, LLL. Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, they can beat the Vikings. They can beat the Chargers. Commanders, I don't know. I do not know. That's a heck of a stretch. And obviously one that's never happened, that's been done before in NFL history. So boys, good luck to you. Good luck to you in weeks 12 through 17. So that's all for the show tonight. Really appreciate you all tuning in again. Go and follow the socials. You can see them on the screen. Appreciate it. Hope you like the graphics. Have some really great content coming out on all socials. Have some really in-depth episodes coming up. Again, we're going to start, I believe, with either the NFC or AFC North, breaking down the division, the offseason, and predicting the records for their seasons. I appreciate you all. Go and follow me on all the socials. Repost, comment, do your thing. Appreciate it, and excited to see you guys for the next episode. So have a great weekend, and hope you enjoyed the schedule release. Week 1 will be here before you know it. Let's get it.